Did you guys all come up with cabin names?
They did it. I did.
Wait, Mike did. We just never told them.
They never used that.
Yeah, because you guys have fake
actively.
We had a real name
exactly.
because we couldn't use it, and then we had a fake name that we just like. This is what we call a.
Your cabin was like, we can't tell you our name. I'm like,
Okay. Because that was like one of the first things that you said, like create a cabin name. We actively used our cabin name. We were
don't know what it is.
the Whirling Ninjas.
I never.
One of them.
heard
We said it was on the script. We wrote it on the script by the it was the we seen by the Whirling Ninjas. So yeah.
what is the first word you're saying?
Whirling. It's boy girl because we had 2 boys, 3 girls. Whirling Ninjas.
Please. No.
Thank you.
What was the name of your
Yeah.
We didn't have one because I did have, I guess, the older kids. Like all mine except for one, they were like 11, 12, 13. So they were like taking a lot of time to actually like get to know each other. I think like the people in my cabin were like really close, even the ones who weren't as like loud and talkative. Like at lunch, they like when we went outside when it wasn't raining, like they still like sat like noodle distance at like a table apart, and like they actually like had conversations with each other. So I don't think we needed one. I think we were the friendship cabin. There we go.
Wow.
I saw that your kids were like, but my kids would they would just raise their hand and be like, Miss Callan, you're talking too much. I'd be like, okay, and so I think they would do that, and I think the second day when we were doing some activity on the stage, and I was talking about, I was just like, yeah, this is what we do in the theater, blah, 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 raise your hand. We want to do a fashion show. And so they actually took because we still have the costumes out from the quick change, and they put all the costumes, and then I put on some music, and then they had a fashion show with their mask on. It was very cute. Yeah.
We would be able to have our morning meeting, but in the past years, you guys are in like the first 2-3 rows, and this year, whenever we would have our morning meetings, we are scattered out with so much distance in order to accommodate that. If you've ever been in a theater class, you get 20 people on the stage to do your warm-up. You do this first game to get yourself jazzed into it. We couldn't do that. What was cool is that it's not that you made that lesson plan for you, it's that you made the lesson plan in a way that you planned that activity in a way that any of the other people who were coming through could do that. Because there was one day where 2 different master classes were going on. I think you were doing monologues and you were doing costume, or you were doing monologues and you were doing embodying character. So you guys were staying in the same spot, and I had like some of y'all's kids. And so I'm sitting there looking through the lesson plan going, oh, okay, so this is what we're going to be doing with this guy over in here. And that was so cool because we couldn't do it like, okay, this first half hour, it's all 45 of us and we're going to be doing this. We had to adapt to it and come up with a different system altogether.
Yeah, and Donovan's mom was one of the late registrations, and she was on the wait list, and she said, she had Facebook messaged me, please tell me that you are doing the camp. Please tell me that I can put Donovan in this camp. He needs social interaction because it affects kids, and I'm all for keeping kids healthy, safe, all of that, but sometimes we forget that the mental state sometimes can trigger other sicknesses.
Waking up and then you're like, wow, okay, I'm gonna be in my house, or I'm gonna be in my room all day, seeing the same 4 stuff.
Waking up with something to do.
Like
I forgot how much I
had nothing to do. Like what all I could do was music or dance in my room or watch movies, and it was just really, it was depressing. It wasn't that I hated my home.
It's just like after being there for so long,
I was like,
without leaving, it's like,
I don't want to be here.
Let's change it up a bit.
Get it going.
Props was not really something, apart from like a couple of small things, props wasn't really a focus for what we were doing with a lot of this. But like Claudia drew a blueprint of how she wanted us to build a game controller.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like it had it from the front, had it from the side, it had it
like
upside down. She like did it 3D, and I was just like,
that was Claudia?
That was
Claudia.
Claudia.
She said it was you. I was going to say, well, yeah, she's planner.
No, Claudia drew that.
I need to tell. Did you tell Dawn that? Claudia, Izzy, and KK are like 40-year-olds trapped in.
They really are. They really are.
KK is also going to be a wonderful. KK and Izzy as well are both going to be wonderful. They're the ones where I'm thinking of like stage managers and producers because every day for that first week after we made masks, Izzy, tiny little Izzy, would walk up to me, little hands behind her back, just go, "We have not taken home our masks yet. Is today going to be today?"
Yep.
Me and Aiyana doing checking in, KK, we would see KK's dad just drive up in his Jeep, and KK is literally sitting in the passenger seat like this.
Just chilling. She'll like go over a curb and she's just like,
She's like, and she'd get out, she'd be like,
hello. Hi.
chilling.
Oh,
She's
she was.
always been like that.
She's always been like that, and she gives so much character on a stage.
Oh, yeah.
And it was so funny with her as Ham. She hates the color pink, so the fact that she was a pink piggy bank.
She does?
Oh,
When she came out in that costume, I was like, your costume is so cute. And she was like, they made me wear this.
Wait, other than that like faux turtleneck thing.
With that turtleneck, she goes, Izzy made me put on
the bow.
tie.
So it's cute.
She was like,
Izzy was cute in the Rex outfit. I could not get over that. She's like,
That was the Annabelle in the Mr. Monopoly costume.
So backstage before the Toy Story, when I was back there, like the second run, Izzy standing right beside me, just going like,
With her
they're
like
so
Rexing. I was
funny.
like, what?
And there was also,
I mean, like the whole time.
you know how like anytime we're in a production, there was always like, there's one thing that waited till the last second that probably didn't need to.
yeah.
Well, bless my wonderful little Morgan cook. So patient with me. We had such a time getting that Buzz costume going.
That was a word, yeah.
That was a stress. So the moment that we had all of the stuff in there, like morning meeting had like hardly even happened. We had decided it was like the day of the show. We're like, okay, I need Morgan. Morgan, get over here. And so Morgan and I worked for the first like chunk of the day, and she did the painting on her Buzz Lightyear costume. So like we both looked at the picture, and I kind of like would sketch it out, and we looked at the colors she had, and she went to town on it, and
It was
it was
really good.
so. It's in the back of my
Show of
purse.
hands of how many people have had to do their own thing at the last minute because there's just so many things to do.
Yes.
Yes.
thinking about doing teaching older people, and like you said, they think they know it, and like they don't want to. They like, what is that? Like,
Or I can't.
oh yeah.
I hear that from adults too. I
Oh, yeah.
can't do that.
Like Meredith would say something, and then they'd be like, I don't know, I'll try. And then Meredith would literally be like, that's my favorite thing. Yes, I love that.
Friday.
But for them to just say it on their
Right,
own
yeah.
and not be like, well, I don't know how to do this. I can't do this.